2021. Before we get started, a little reminder. Right now, everyone is on mute to avoid background noise, which might distract you from listening to the webinar. Your active participation is important throughout the sessions. If you have any questions or comments, please type in them into the Q&A box in your control panel so that I can bring them in during the question and answer session at the end. If you want to ask in person, you may raise your hands. Someone will unmute your line so that you can ask your questions. We have pull-up questions, which might help us for follow-up. Please answer them. Now, let me turn the time over to our first presenter, Ms. Luna Kuma. Ms. Luna, she's a director, a creative writer, social justice advocate, and also she is Afrocentric designer. She has more than a decade of experience in arts and entertainment field. She is now merchandising and entertainment director at Black Economic Excellence. Ms. Luna, you may proceed.
Thank you, Rania, for a very warming and beautiful introduction. Thank you so much. It is very great to speak with you all today. I'm honored to open this monumental presentation. Welcome all of you again. Black Economic Excellence is an initiative launched at the beginning of July 2020 with the goal of making Blacks a major economic players globally. Black Economic Excellence strives to create Black economic unity and a good thought of bringing an economic solution to the unprivileged and systematically hit Black community. Our principle at Black Economic Excellence is based on inclusion, impact, and innovation. I'll repeat this. Inclusion, impact, and innovation. With this, I'll lead you to our next presenter, Mr. Chris Goodlaw. Mr. Chris has a diversified professional background in life insurance and annuities and in digital marketing. Mr. Chris trains, coaches, develops people in different life expertise for the last, we can say, 3 decades globally. He worked as a senior marketing executive at Planet Hollywood Resort and Casino, and worked as a development executive in Paris, Las Vegas Hotel and Casino. I'll leave the time for Mr. Chris. Mr. Chris, you may proceed, please.
Thank you so much, Luna. I appreciate you. And if I can get the screen, hopefully. Let's see here. Can we go to the slides? I don't see any slides. I only see you guys. There we go. All right, if someone could please bring up the slides. They were there, then they went away. I don't have any control of the slides. And I'll let you just run them, Dr. Fisseha. Thanks so much. All right, so I appreciate you guys. So Global Black Economic Unity for a Better World, kind of our company is broken down into several categories, components, divisions, if you will. At the end of the day, we have our corporate partners program that I happen to be one of the directors of sales for. And in that particular program, we do a lot of things with companies. We offer incredible membership opportunities for companies to belong to BEE and for the benefit of them, for the benefit of their employees, for the benefit of everybody. Whether it, we offer programs in, workplace inclusion, teach and train them on diversity and education, how to deal with multicultural people and people from different ethnicities and backgrounds, and just how to do really, really good business in this new world. We have our Global Economic Inclusion Department, and of course, all working together to create a better world and to improve economics. And that's really our focus. So at the end of the day, the African American net worth is scheduled to be at 0 by 2053 if we don't make a change. We're not a political organization. We're an economic organization. And in order for us to working with companies and those companies working with us, we know that the Black dollar is very powerful. There's a lot of spending. We're one of the biggest spenders of money that there is. And so them helping us is helping them to create new economics. Otherwise, we're headed on a downhill slope at this point. So enough is enough. The question may be asking, how much is enough? We've seen so much. There's been so many different things, and walking, demonstrating is not going to fix the problem. A political affiliation is not going to fix the problem. Economics, we need to uplift everybody economically. And again, we're all about inclusion, and we believe that if everybody works together, we can just make the world a better place. We believe that the more money you have, the more power you have, and therefore generating respect. And there shouldn't be so much of a separation. We believe that people should have an opportunity to be able to make an incredible living, to be able to offer great contribution to society. And here at Black Economy Excellence, we're going to do our part to bridge the gap. So our goal is to make Blacks major economic players globally. There's over 1.3 billion Black people in the world today and growing. It's the fastest growing population in the world. And we're going to help make Black people and others major economic players. Next slide. All right, so at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this over to my colleague, our president and CEO of Black Economy Excellence, and also of all of our companies. And this gentleman, Dr. Fisseha, has a background in not only in education, but as a physician, as a business owner. He started, which is now the largest private college in Ethiopia. And he's actually sent through a grant program and just through his own generosities, over 5,000 people to school. And he's done a lot in communities all over in Africa, but also here in the United States. Super honored to be working with him and under his auspices. And this vision is something that I'm excited to help him carry out along with all of my colleagues that are here on the webinar. And I'd like to invite you to be a part of that with us. So without further ado, Dr. Fisseha, take it away.
Okay, thank you for the generous introduction. I really appreciate it. And thank you, Luna and Rania, for the previous presentations. To start with, I would like to thank everybody for taking your time on this Saturday afternoon to share with us the vision that we have and discuss and look into how we can work together to really make a significant impact, especially as it relates to Black communities globally. So as has been indicated earlier, our plan is to make Blacks major economic players globally, and how we plan to do it is economically. We believe that that's the best approach that we have as an avenue to bring about impact and significant change. We've tried politically, we've tried socially, and those are, very contentious and very divisive issues. And uniting, Black people globally on that line will be very challenging. So essentially, we opted for the economic approach. This has not been tried before. Uniting Black people economically globally and thus creating a global Black economic unity is a Herculean task. We know it, but if we can do it, which we believe we will, its impact is going to be everlasting. So that's the kind of vision that we have. It's never been attempted on a global scale to unite Black people globally, economically globally. And here we are, we have started it, and we are inviting you to join us this interesting and yet very impactful journey. So the whole idea is, as you can see it, the current model, economic model, the existing economic model, it has not worked for large majority of the world's population. Facts, they indicate that, only a handful of individuals are getting richer and richer, and the world's wealth is being accumulated in the hands of very few individuals, while the rest of the world is getting poorer and poorer, and the wealth gap is widening, ever widening. So how can we address this situation? Separated, divided, and being in different silos is not going to take us anywhere. We believe that in unity there is going to be strength, and in economic unity, then we can have everything. So that's the whole concept. So essentially, the current trickle-down economic model, it has not worked. So what's the alternative? So it's an alternative which we have come up with today that we wanted to share with you, and that alternative is a model which we call Perpetual Collective Wealth Generation Model. By perpetual, it means we don't want it to be only for us, but essentially it should be something which is sustainable, continuous, and which is going to go from generation to generation. And we know that can be, you can create that kind of wealth, because studies after studies have shown that there are few families and individuals who have been able to create perpetual wealth, which keeps on from generation to generations. But the rest of the world, the trajectory is not that. So essentially, it's cracking that code and applying that principle on a community level. This model describes how it can be done. So essentially, what it does is to create the economic unity in the form of a mutual fund, which we call Black Economic Unity Wealth Fund, so that the resource of 1.5 billion people all over the world is huge. It's something, if you have confidence in ourselves, if we believe that we are the solutions for our problems, and if we stop looking for externalizing our problems and looking for solutions to come from outside, we have seen it for generations that it has not taken us anywhere. So we have to take the responsibility on our shoulders. So in that shoulders, taking that responsibility means believing the fact that by ourselves we cannot bring about change. Divided and individually. If change is going to come, it has to come through our collective effort. So essentially, what we are trying to create is an economic unity whereby, if we can do it, every single Black person will be part of that economic unity, and we get our strengths from our numbers. So essentially, our plan is to make this global Black Wealth Fund a 1.5 trillion wealth fund in the coming 10 years. It can be done. Individuals can raise trillions of dollars. We have seen it. You can see in the stock market and the wealth fund managers, it can be done. And having a resource of 1.5 billion people and a resource of Africa, there is no reason and there is nothing that can prevent us except, the willingness to do it. And we believe that, as we started from the beginning, that, this is an idea whose time has come, because we have a lot of people are looking for solutions like this one, and provided that they clearly see what our intent is, definitely people will be coming. And the reason why they will be coming is not to do us a favor, but to do themselves a favor, because essentially we'll not be begging people to come and contribute and be shareholder and be members of this economic unity, but because they get more benefit out of being part of this process. You know how much people get by saving money in the currently existing financial system. It's practically nothing. So when they bring their money here, they will be getting more, because this is going to be a mutual fund, which is going to be a special purpose because it's going to be investing in Black communities. And secondly, it's going to be a fixed income fund because it's going to be giving them a return, which is much, much better than what they would be getting from saving their money in the current existing system. So essentially what we intend to do is that money will be pulled up, and that will be a strength whereby the pooled money will be invested in some of the largest corporations in the world who would be, making impact on Black communities through employment or through the services and products that they will be providing. Because of limited time, I won't be going in detail into that one. So essentially, we're going to leverage $1.5 trillion through, business, enterprises, leverage that and making it into a multi-trillion-dollar asset whose profit, unlike the currently existing trickle-down model, which the profit goes into individuals, is going to be plowed back into the system, into our economic unity, which will be reinvested, and thus thereby creating the perpetual wealth. So this is the whole idea. It's a very innovative but very impactful and paradigm shifting idea. So to implement this one, I mean, idea is one thing, model is one thing, we have to bring it to the ground. So essentially what we are doing right now is we have divided this project into, 3 phases. The first phase is, where we'll be raising capital to get this thing going. We are doing a number of activities in this area. We have, completed a seed fund round whereby we have raised some capital, which we are using right now to undertake some activities. Through a corporate partnership program, we have started, partnering with companies. It's a membership program where we are, through that membership fee, we're, mobilizing resources. And we have a merchandising activity through campaigns that we're going to be launching very soon. We'll be raising, capital. And that capital will be used to get into the second phase. The second phase is going to be a campaign, aggressive promotion phase. Having an idea is something, and if that idea doesn't come out and see light, then it will be just nothing. It will be meaningless. So essentially, what we are trying to do is we will be informing, we will be educating, and we will be mobilizing people. So second phase is aggressive, promotion period, whereby by the time when we'll be launching our Wealth Fund, which is going to be September 2021, the Black Economic Unity. By that time, millions of people will be so much excited and so much interested and so much ready to, jump into the economic unity. So come September 2021, there's going to be a summit that will be organizing. At that summit, our first of its kind global Black Economic Unity will be officially launched or inaugurated. And then after, all the things that I described to you earlier, this one will start to be implemented through, our phase 3 implementation phase. Now with that, and to, accomplish this one, we need to have an organization. So this is the structure of our organization. In terms of partnership, this is where we have a department, solely dedicated to, working with organizations like yours. This is not something that we want to do by ourselves. Remember, Luna indicated the 3 principles that we, base our core principles that we base our project on, and these are inclusion, impact, and innovation. So we want to work with as many partners as possible. You, the organizations, nonprofit, and who are working in the communities, who are really doing marvelous jobs and contributing significantly to creating a better world, we want to work with you because it's, as we said, it's our unity which is going to take us, far. So we have a department which is dedicated working on that one, and we have a different departments that we are establishing that are, spearheading the various projects that we have. One of the projects that we have is called the Global Center for Diversity and Inclusion, and that center is within the Corporate Partner Program. And now I give the chance for Chris to explain this department and how it relates to the kinds of things that we want you to work with us. Chris?
Yes, sir. Okay, thank you so much. So this, our department is very diverse, and basically, you know, working directly with the companies. We're going to be inviting companies to participate with us in different programs. First of all, you know, with the GCDI, the Institute for Diversity and Inclusion, we're going to have several educational programs. I think right now we already have 30 different courses that are available and developed and ready to go. We'll be bringing in adjunct professors. We'll be teaching very high level education and training to these companies. So we're going to be inviting them to participate that way. We're going to be inviting, you know, for our other program, which is the Institute for Black Entrepreneurship, which will allow entrepreneurs to come together and showcase their ideas and to be a part, you know, and be able to do business together, to change that economics within that within Black people. And also the Institute for Black Leadership and Development, the Institute for Black Community and Youth Development. We're developing all kinds of programs and looking for ideas and community programs that we can participate in, that we can co-benefit in, that we can do service. The community is everything, and we're looking forward to more and more outreach and making more and more impact, more and more awareness, things of that nature. Of course, the Institute of Vocational Training has a lot of incredible programs that are being developed as well. And then, of course, the summit. And I'd love to show the summit, and that's another area that's coming up, I believe, right? So this is an area that I am super passionate about. We'd love to invite you guys to be a part of our very first annual Black Economic Summit, which is slated for September 2021 in the DC area. And it's just going to be amazing with our collaboration, working together. As a partnership, one of the things we can offer you would be a complimentary booth, you know, at the summit, where you can display your organization in front of, you know, the hundreds of thousands of people that are expected to come. Also, you know, having within the GCDI, one of the other benefits of partnering with us would be we can then co-collaborate on the education and training and do some things within your organization to benefit you. Everything we do has to be a win-win for you, a win-win for us, a win-win to the organization that you represent, a win-win to the people that would, you know, you could be the conduit to us, a win-win for everybody. Same thing with the summit. Everybody that attends, it's going to be a win-win for them. They're going to be able to get the education and learn about all these various different companies, come to one place where everyone's there. Of course, the social media effect from there, of course, being able to purchase goods and services from companies at wholesale rates. I mean, there'll be entrepreneurial opportunities there. There'll be incredible speakers and education. And of course, being able to reserve their spot for the for the next year, maybe offering them a discount for doing that right there at the event. This is going to be a mega event, well advertised, well marketed, and it's just unbelievably huge in terms of the opportunity to get involved now and be the pioneers with this program. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it back over to, let's see here, what's the next slide coming up? Let's see here. Next slide would be, I'm going to turn it back over to Dr. Fisseha. Oh, actually, no, I can talk about this. I'll turn it back over to Luna. So this is kind of our global Black Economic Unit Summit organizational structure. So, you know, in a nutshell, you can see we're creating something very, very large, which is going to affect a lot of people. But this is where the summit lies within the structure, the co-organizers, and the various committees that we're looking to set up now. There's lots of different committees that are needed to make this a joint effort and make this success. And we love to reach out to each and every one of you and identify some opportunities for some collaboration and involvement. And so you can see all the other departments that are existence here at BE and those that are being developed. But this particular structure is showing you exactly where the summit lies and so on and so forth. And so having said that, we can go to the next slide. And this just kind of outlines our corporate partnership program. It talks about our Global Black Economic Unity. It shows our Center for Diversity and Inclusion. Ultimately, we're going to be creating a Black Business Fund. And it just kind of takes you through a flow chart of how this is being developed and how many people this is going to affect and how much opportunity there's going to be for everybody that gets involved with us one way or another. And we just want to do our part to make the world a better place. And I think that partnering up with some of your organizations and you individually, the right people working together, we can accomplish a lot more. So the next slide will be, I'm gonna turn this back over to Luna to take this one and take us to the head here. So Luna Kuma, it's back to you.
Okay, I would say this. What does it cost you, the organizations, to come and present or participate or partner with us? What does it cost you? Zero cost. That's the amazing part. Like, you come and participate with us in co-organizing the summit. It doesn't cost you anything. Next slide, please. I will give that to Dr. Fisseha. Doctor, you are on mute.
Sorry about that. So essentially, in terms of when we thought about, inviting you, and which we're also going to invite other companies, organizations to come and partner with us and work with us. The whole idea is, as Chris indicated, for mutual benefit. In terms of everybody, it's a win-win situation whereby everybody have some benefit out of this endeavor. So we know that a lot of organizations for their activities every year they have to go out and then look for funding, and we know the challenge. So essentially, we're thinking, is there something that we can do together, whereby you coming here, helping us with the core organizations and getting all the immediate benefit, which we'll show you later on, and benefiting yourself in that process. And also the most important thing is, always in everything that we do, we don't see the short term, we see the long term, the sustainability, something that can be passed from generation to generation. So essentially, we're looking into, can you create something in such a way that, whereby this organization can have a source of income, whereby they don't need to worry about, bringing money, so that they can only focus, on the things that they are doing. So we believe that we have come up with that solution. So that's where we are inviting you. So essentially, in terms of, definitely you're going to be asking us, of course, if that is not going to cost us anything, then what's going to be our expectation from you? Essentially, we want you to be our co-organizers for the Economic Unity Summit, with all the benefit that we'll indicate later on. And then we want you to help us bring in other partners. We are looking for 100 founding partners from organization side. So this 100 founding, and this is a very limited opportunity that we're opening up. Those who are, the early converts, who see the vision and wants to work with us right from the beginning and make this vision a success, then they will be benefiting immensely. Immensely. So this is the kind of thing that we are thinking. So bring partners for us, and then definitely you are going to be in for a long haul, work with us and make BE a success. So this being the case, what do you get in terms of benefit right now, immediately? We see three major benefits that you can get directly from establishing partnership right from today, starting from today. So the first benefit is that you will be, to be a member of the Global Partnership Program. It's a membership. All corporations are going to be paying. It's a membership, paid membership program. So starting from $100 a month to $1 million. So non-profits, organizations we are inviting here to come and partner with us, first of all, they get free access to the Global Center for Diversity and Inclusion. That means training through all the institutes that Chris, outlined earlier, access to personal development programs. We are going to have a series of because we believe that, knowledge and skills are critical if you really want to turn around our situation. So these two programs, which is a personal development program and the community development programs, are really core to our GCDI activities. So in order to achieve that one, you'll have access to all these programs. So that's another, that's very big opportunity that we have. Second, we didn't mention that this earlier. One of the things, the targets that we have for the achieving or the goals of making Blacks major economic players in the world is to create 1 million Black millionaires over the coming 10 years. So how do we do that? Because currently in the world, there are two systems. There is a wage system and there is what's known as a profit system. Majority of the world, which is practically almost 97% of the world, is in the wage system. And studies after studies have shown that those people who are financially successful, who really see have financial freedom. By financial freedom, it means, you don't need to worry about money. Whether you work or you don't work, there is enough money for you to live comfortably. So when you look at it, those people who have that kind of freedom, financial freedom, are those who own business, those who are in the profit system. So essentially, we believe, because this is a study, it's a fact. So we have to believe the facts and we have to use that knowledge to make sure that, if you really want to bring about sustainable change, we have to take people out of the wage system and put them in the profit system, which is make them business owners. That's why we came up with this 1 million Black millionaires concept. So target. So essentially, in order to do that, what we are trying to do is we have established what's known as a Global Black Business Fund. And that fund has three purposes. One, educate people in terms of how to start a business, the fundamentals of business, and then provide them technical support, because starting from writing project proposals to making sure that they are successful, being there all the way. And third, invest in them in such a way that, because one of the major obstacles for Black people to really, going up the ladders of economy is access to capital. Everybody knows that. So essentially, through this fund, what we are trying to do is we will educate them, we'll provide them technical support, and then on top of that one, we will invest with them. And through that kind of approach, we will create 1 million Black millionaires. So the money that we will be getting from the partners program, 75% of it will be channeled to this one. The money that we'll be getting through, the profit that comes from the summit and whatever is going to be channeled into the fund. The money that will be raising through the the merchandising programs is going to be channeled into that one. We're going to be looking for sponsors who are going to be funding. That fund is going to be getting into and being invested in Black businesses. The third benefit that we will be, immediate benefit that you'll be getting is during the summit, you will have free access to, you'll be given, the booth as Chris indicated, and then you will have, conference venue facilities where you can organize your own events during, concurrent events during the summit. Long term, this is a beauty. This is something that you really want you to really focus and look at it. I mean, if we don't change, things remain the same. If people want to continue to worry about money from year to year, then, we don't ask people to, we don't force or ask them to change. That's their choice. But being part of, being a partner with us in the long run, remember we talked to you about the target that we have is to create a 1.5 trillion fund and then a multi-trillion-dollar asset. So this is, we want you to be, those 100 companies, founding partner organizations that we are looking for, we have allotted 5% of whatever assets that's going to be created, which is owned by Global Project Management Services, Black Economic Excellence, that's going to be owned by you. So imagine what this means. That means a continuous, sustainable means of revenue for your activities. Besides, of course, I don't know, I may have to go back. Here, through the Black Business Fund, we're not going to be investing in other businesses. What priority? You will be prioritized for you, for your members, and then the communities that you serve. Whenever they have businesses, through the collaboration we have, they will be prioritized for funding through this program. And on top of that one, long term, you will also be getting continuous sustainable income from being part of this process. So this is, we're inviting you, and now I give the opportunity I give the mic to Rania. I'm sure we're going to have a lot of questions. This is a huge concept and undertaking, but I'm sure you understand the benefit and the value of it, and then inviting you to be part of it. Now I give the floor to Rania to give opportunity for questions and comments.
Thank you, Dr. Fisseha. We'll go ahead and take some time for questions now. Just a reminder, please be sure to type your questions into question box in the control panel, or you may raise your hands. I don't see any question until now.
Don't be shy, guys.
I said we are very
You're
clear.
active first Okay.
Yeah, we just got a question from Kara, that is from National Farmers Association. You may proceed, Rania, please.
It says National Black Farmers Association is excited to be a part of this initiative. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. So essentially, the person who invited you will be following up on this one. Whoever wants to, be part of it, we will be immediately following up with you. And yeah, thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Welcome.
So don't forget to vote for the poll. It will help us to follow up. We have another question. This is from Mika. This is definitely a huge undertaking. Maybe it was said and I missed it, but how exactly do you plan to raise the funds for the global business building initiatives? Dr. Fisseha?
Thank you, Rania. So we have two levels. One is the funds that we will be raising ourselves, essentially until we establish the Global Black Economic Unity, which is a mutual fund. Until we establish that fund, which is in September. In the interim, we'll be raising finances through one. Can I go back? Let me show you the slide, that slide. Just so that it's clear for you. So I'm sure you see this slide. So,
yes.
So essentially, through our Global Black Economic Unity, definitely for this one, where this is a summit, we're going to have sponsors, we're going to have exhibitors. Money is going to come through, and we're not going to be using all that money. So that part of that money is going to go into the Black Business Fund, one. The second one is through the Global Center for Diversity and Inclusion. You remember the one that we said that we're going to be a partnership in partnership with corporations to provide them, diversity and inclusion services. These services include training, research, is a number of other consulting services, We have, employment services through the vocational training institute. We're going to be training, our Black people, our brothers and sisters, so that they have the skills to be employed. And we even provide the employment services. And, it's very active engagement that way. So and for that one, they will be, they will, to be part of that program, they will have to pay fees. It's a membership program. So we are going to be raising money from that one, and 75% of this money, which is going to be raised from the GCDI program, is going to be channeled into the fund. And the other one is through this program, through like webinars or trainings and whatever, and also support of the institute's money is going to come. And then part of it is going to be channeled into the fund. And directly also for the Global Black Business Fund, we will be also be mobilizing resources through sponsorship and things like that. That would also be used to fund this fund. And another program that we didn't go in detail is called Products Sales Services. So essentially what this means is we're going to go into companies, corporations, and we're going to offer them a sales service, sales for commission. So essentially we take up their products. In fact, our vision is to create what's known as, I don't want to take some company's name, but what's known as a Black Amazon kind of thing. We'll have a different name for it. In fact, we already have an e-commerce platform called Shop Black Economy. You can check that out. So essentially what we are trying to do is we're going to take their products, we're going to sell it for them, and then whatever commission that we get out of it is going to come into this fund. So in the interim, this will continue. It's not going to stop, but this is going to be used to initiate immediately to start, funding Black businesses and young people or Black people who want to start businesses. It can either be a startup where we incubate them, or it can either be, a scale up, where we're going to be, helping them in the process, accelerate them. So this being the case, by the end of September, when we have the economic unity, what's going to happen is by that time the mutual fund will be established. By that time, people will be buying shares in the mutual fund, just like any other mutual fund that you see elsewhere. But the whole idea is because we are limited with time, we didn't go in detail as to how this mutual fund be beneficial to them. But trust me, they're going to have multiple benefit of keeping their money in the banks. We're going to use we're going to come up with a principle called 70-20-10 rule, which is that people should spend, if they want to be part of this process, spend 75% of what you get, 70% of what you get. Pay 20% of your debt. Pay 20% from what you get, or 20% of what you get for your debt, and save 10% of that one and make that money work for you. So essentially that's the target that we have, that people should be saving or buying share here and the money to work for them. And it's not only here, but eventually through the companies that we're going to establish, there are going to be IPOs, there are going to be all sorts of things where people can invest. So essentially this money is going to be mobilized at that level when we have the mutual fund, parallelly the one that we're going to be raising, and also the one that's going to come to the mutual fund. So we have these two mechanisms whereby we'll be mobilizing huge chunks of money, which will be used to be invested in Black communities and change the situation there.
Thank you, Dr. Fisseha. We have another question from Kara. What will be the time commitment for co-organizing organizations? Don't forget to vote the poll. Just reminder. We'll continue, Dr. Fisseha.
Okay, thank you, Rania. So essentially, it depends it's up to yourself. Essentially, what we are going to do is, the more corporations, organizations engage with us, the more benefit they will be getting. So essentially, we don't want somebody coming there and doing nothing, just appearing in the committee, and then at the end of the year come and start collecting money. We don't want that. So essentially, in terms of the extent, how aggressively you want to engage, it's going to be your choice. as we indicated to you initially, organizations who want to come and partner with us, right here, we're going to set up a co-organizing committee for the summit. You'll be part of this, and then in the other department that I showed you, you will also be part of that. So, but the immediate task we have is to organize this summit. So it depends on the level of commitment that you want to have, but the return in terms of the opportunities when the fund comes, when you want your members or you want fund for your projects and things like that, we will evaluate each organization's contributions in terms of time, in terms of engagement, in terms of ideas and so forth, and then we will prioritize depending on your level of engagement. But we won't be telling you 10 hours or 15 hours or 1 hour and whatever. It's up to you. But the more you get engaged, the more time you have, the more you passionately believe in this thing and be part of this process in terms of as a collective, as a collective effort that is going to be bringing about this significant impact, then the more you'll be benefiting from it.
Thank you, Dr. Fisseha. We have another question from Samson. As I'm the first time participant, maybe I missed some information, but I don't see what would the interest for me to join. Could you be a little more clarify about becoming a member?
Chris or somebody else?
Chris.
So Samson, I'll go ahead and take the question. So as far as becoming a member, maybe we should provide your phone number and your email. We can follow up with you. We need to talk more about, if you're talking about as an individual working with us, or you're talking about an organization you represent, unless you can put that in the chat. Otherwise, we can definitely talk with you one-on-one just by leaving your name and phone number. We'll definitely follow up with you and answer that specifically. But there's different, there are people that join BE as associates or as independent contractors that are working with us. There are organizations that we partner with. So it really just depends on you. Back to you. Any more questions?
Okay. We don't, I guess we have finished all the questions. Please don't forget to vote again so that we can capture the results. Even if you have already voted, vote again so that we will be capturing. Thank you. Ms. Luna, you may proceed with the closing remarks.
Great. I'd like to say we appreciate everyone for being here today. We'll send you out a recorded video of this particular webinar. I'd like to stress here the importance of partnering with us on and organizing the launching of this heroic economic global summit, which will bring a generational game-changing shift in the economy of Black community. Together we can bring the change that we have been struggling to achieve over the years. Those of you who indicate you want to join and establish partnering with us can contact the person, the person who invited you will contact you for contract and to complete a memorandum of understanding form. Those of you who want more information, please send us questions and through info@blackeconomicexcellence.com, or please contact us through 833-932-5225. With this, we'll come to the end of this webinar for today. Thanks again, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And don't forget to poll if you didn't poll already. We have a poll. Thank you.
Hello?